10 ways to stop spending and start saving. 1. Track your spending. Even the littlest purchases can add up and ruin your budget. And if you overspend, your bank account could easily be in trouble and you might face the buyer's remorse. To stop spending, start tracking your expenses in order to succeed in budgeting. Budgeting helps you develop accountability of your finances because it makes you aware of how you're spending and where your money is going. This will put you in a better position because a clear picture of your financial situation can help you make wiser spending choices and check for areas of improvement in your budget. Track every centavo that goes out your pocket, even your morning coffees or bagel. Even those seemingly a few dollars of spending a day can affect your monthly budget. So if you cut down $5 of unnecessary spending, you'll save $150 a month. 2. Know your triggers. What causes you to spend? Understand your psychological and emotional triggers and remove them in your life. If you do, you'll avoid any opportunity to overspend. To help you with it, here is what to identify. What time of the day do you have higher levels of energy? Buy or shop during those times and avoid it when you're feeling stressed and emotional. Don't shop when you're anxious, upset, or having any negative feelings because it could make you seek for retail therapy to improve your mood. By not shopping when you're emotional, you can make a wiser choice because you'll have a clear mind when you're less stressed. Another trigger is an environment. Do you feel that you're obligated to buy when at the mall where you're more likely to do impulse shopping? Take only some money when going to the mall, or better yet, not go to those places that trigger you to spend. 3. Use cash for purchases. Credit cards are convenient, no doubt about that. However, they're some of the reasons that people overspend because it is so easy to swipe one than to count bills when making a purchase. This convenience makes people unaware of how much money they're spending monthly, one of the surefire ways to overspend. Stick to cash when shopping. Before going out your door, make a list of what you're buying and bring only the cash you need to pay for those. Leave your credit card at home to avoid the temptation of using it to pay for items. Using cash when shopping, you'll have a clear picture of how much you have and how much cash is disappearing for every item you have to pay. And with cash, you only spend the money you have, unlike with credit cards. Try sticking with cash as much as you can to stop overspending. Using a cash-based system for payments, you can stop relying on credit cards too. 4. Forget about your credit cards. When grocery shopping, take only the cash you'll need and don't bring your credit cards with you. Make a list of the essentials and have an estimate of their total cost. Bringing only the cash you'll need, you'll avoid using your credit cards to buy items that aren't a part of your list and thus also avoid incurring debt. Are you online shopping most of the time? Don't save your credit card information on your profile. If you already did, it may be time to delete them from your account. This way, you'll create a barrier between you and online shopping. Not having your credit card information saved would make things inconvenient for you. And with that, you might have to think twice or altogether decide not to buy anymore. Have you memorized your credit card information? You might want to request for new cards and cancel the old ones. Remove your saved credit card information from your shopping accounts. 5. Stay motivated with short-term financial goals. Having financial goals would keep you motivated. To start with it, you can set short-term and attainable financial goals, while changing spending habits. These goals will always remind you of the reason to stop spending and make sacrifices. Set a specific goal. For example, you can cut down the cost of your monthly spending on eating out from $300 to $150. This will help you set a target rather than having a vague goal of reducing your spending on eating out. With a short-term financial goal, which would later become a good habit, you can change your view about money and spending. Other financial goals can also include sticking to a set budget monthly and not going beyond it. Nevertheless, you should keep it simple and attainable. For more motivation, you can post notes in places around your home and use them as reminders of what you want to achieve. 6. Know how to budget your money. One of the best ways to stop spending is still to learn about your financial situation. This will give you a clear view of where you're standing, including a look at the areas where you overspend and where you can cut down your expenses. Know how much you take home monthly and how much your total expenses are. That's why it's important to create and stick with a budget. Compare how much money you're bringing in and how much money you're spending. Compute your monthly income, including those from side jobs, and then your fixed expenses. Budget around those fixed expenses. Then, list all your variable expenses like gas and groceries. See how much you're spending on those variable expenses, which may also include non-essentials like entertainment and eating out. Adjust your numbers to ensure you don't overspend. By doing this, you will find it easier to stick to your budget. 7. Use the 48-hour rule. Have you noticed that you tend to impulse buy items whenever you're bored or sad? If you're triggered to shop due to negative emotions, use the 48-hour rule in shopping. This will help you stop spending money. So, when you're thinking about buying something and deciding whether you can afford it or not, walk away and stop for a while. Give yourself 2 days or maybe longer before actually making that purchase. After that time, you might find yourself less interested in those items anymore and the eager emotions could have faded. Once it does, you can be sure that you don't really want to buy it. But if the intention to buy is still there, save up for that purchase to avoid ruining your budget. Practice this 48-hour rule every time you feel like buying something, especially impulse purchases, which urge for them would more likely fade after a while. 8. Don't shop unless you have a goal. Have you ever caught yourself adding too many items in your shopping cart, which in the first place you didn't plan to buy when you're at home? This doesn't happen to just one but many of us. The original plan was buying only essentials, but then you ended up filling your cart with those chocolate bars and toys on sale. This is a recipe to overspend. To prevent this from happening, make sure to have a goal in mind and stick to it before heading to the supermarket. Or better yet, know what places trigger you to spend money and avoid going to those places. And if possible, maybe you can send in your spouse to do the shopping for you if you know for yourself that you tend to overspend when you go to the store. Remember, a few small impulse buys can easily add up and make you spend more than the amount of money you intend to spend in the first place. They can get pretty expensive easily. 9. Stop eating out. One of the variable expenses which you can control with willpower is restaurant spending. Change your food spending habits and stop spending money at restaurants. It will save you money for not eating out at restaurants for lunch or dinner. So, if you're spending $10 on lunch 5 times a week, then, that would be $200 monthly. You could just imagine how much money you could be saving had you not been spending on restaurant food. Start creating a weekly meal plan and list those items you would need for those recipes. With a plan in mind and a list in your hand, you can manage your finances better. This will also help you stop spending on restaurant food and start creating healthy meals. You can save eating out for special occasions or a once-in-a-while treat for yourself. 10. Don't be tempted on sales. People love a money-saving deal, and we all do. Retailers use this shopping behavior to lure customers into their promos and sales. They would know that slashing off prices of their products would attract more interested customers to buy. But then, remember that you're still paying money for that shirt you never really intend to buy in the first place. What's worse, you might end up not wearing it at all. Avoid those shopping traps. Resist sales. Make a list of your shopping items and stick with it. If an item isn't in your list, then you shouldn't buy it. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.